Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my singular honor to be here with you today to talk about Uganda, the opportunities for investment, and it's indeed a pleasure for me to be here. Uganda has very close relations with India, which go back over 120 years. For those of you who are interested in history, Uganda was colonized by the British, just like India. And in 1896, because Uganda was a very fertile country, but it is landlocked, the British decided to build a railway that stretched from the East African coast at Mombasa in Kenya into the interior up to Uganda. And to undertake this construction, they brought in about 10,000 Indian laborers who worked under very difficult conditions to build this railway. It took them about 5 years. And when they arrived in Uganda in 1901, many of them chose to settle there in Uganda, and they became citizens. And to this day, when we talk about chapati, samosa, it is part of the Ugandan culture, thanks to this history between our two countries. And when you go to a place called Jinja, which is the source of the longest river in the world, you will indeed find the statue of Mahatma Gandhi, because his ashes were immersed there. And many Indians visit that place, they consider it very sacred because of this history between our two countries. Okay, so I'm going to talk about insights for investment in Uganda. Uganda was dubbed the Pearl of Africa by Sir Winston Churchill, who was the Prime Minister of the UK. When he visited Uganda in 1910, on account of the beauty in Uganda, he stated that for magnificence, for variety of form and color, for provision of brilliant life, bird, insect, reptile, beast, for vast scale, Uganda is truly the Pearl of Africa. And this is the nature in Uganda. It's a very, very, very beautiful country. So why Uganda? As the previous speaker stated, Uganda is a member of the East African Community, which is a regional trading bloc. It's a very stable country. The cost of labor is quite low, which makes it a good place to set up labor-intensive businesses. We also have an abundance of natural resources, rivers, lakes, parks, and it is indeed the only place in the world where you will find snow on the equator. The equator runs through Uganda, but there is a mountain in Uganda that has snow on top of it because of the climate. We also have a liberalized foreign exchange system. The investment opportunities are mostly in agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, services, minerals, and infrastructure development and housing, as I will explain. Agriculture is the backbone of Uganda's economy, contributing about 80% of GDP, and most of the opportunities are in this particular sector. Because Uganda is a very fertile country with very fertile lands, as I stated earlier, agriculture is the main investment opportunity. And one of the opportunities available is to establish a fruit processing factory. This would require about $97 million. Processing of fruits such as mangoes and adding value to them, pineapples or oranges, and so on and so forth. In terms of dairy, You can also set up a project of cattle and milk. There is also an existing dairy factory which needs investment in case the investor doesn't want to start on a clean state and would like to revive this Mbale dairy factory, which is now defunct. Uganda is the leading exporter of coffee in the whole of Africa and about number 6 worldwide. But most of the coffee is exported in the form of raw beans. It is not processed because we lack industries for that. So we are looking for investors who can invest about $60 million and set up a coffee processing plant which would add value to the raw coffee and turn it into instant coffee for export and for the domestic market. Another opportunity is setting up a coffee wet processing plant. A coffee wet processing plant is an industry whereby the coffee seeds are put in water, and then the bad ones sink to the bottom and the good ones come to the top, and it is the ones which have gone to the top, which are the good variety, which are then processed for sale. There is also an opportunity for green coffee grading. Green coffee grading is where coffee is sorted in a factory, and the green seeds, which are the best quality, are then put further forward for value addition. There is also an opportunity to invest in cotton and textiles. As I stated earlier, Uganda is a very fertile country, and one of the crops that are produced is coffee in large amounts, cotton. But most of this cotton is sold in its raw form and so this gives an opportunity to refine this cotton and turn it into clothes and apparel. And the investment amount required for this is about $27 million. The other opportunity is establishment of a modern cattle abattoir, whereby the investor can rear cattle and sell them for beef. The amount for this is $250,000. The other sector where there are opportunities for investment is mining. There is an iron and steel project in the southwestern Uganda where an investor can invest about $500 million and mine this iron and steel. There is also there are also phosphate deposits in the country which can be mined, and the investment amount required for this is $50 million. In terms of manufacturing, one of the opportunities is to create an industrial park where the investor will be in charge of this industrial park and then sublease it to other companies and investors. The amount for this is $600 million. There's also the other opportunity is setting up a factory that produces medical equipment. Currently, there is none in the whole of East Africa, and this is a very good opportunity for make equipment such as gloves, needles, and so on. And the amount required for this is about $23 million. The other opportunity in manufacturing is setting up a plant to manufacture sheet glass, and this would require about $23 million. In terms of services, there is an opportunity to build hotels, real estate projects for tourism, and also an ICT park, and the estimate for this is $200 million. Also, we realize that the public transport system in Uganda is currently underdeveloped, and we are looking for investors to invest in a bus rapid transport system, especially in the capital city, Kampala, and the estimate for this is about $42 million. The country, Uganda, is endowed with lakes and rivers, but these poorly developed water transport system. So we are looking at we are looking for investors to invest in water buses, cruise ships, and boats to connect the different parts of the lakes. And for this, about $30 million is required. For this one, in the capital city, there is a slum that surrounds it, and we are looking for an investor who can take up land and build houses in this slum, and this requires about $158 million. In order to invest in Uganda, there is a one-stop center under the Uganda Investment Authority, which is a government body. It advises on investment, company registration, citizenship, tax registration, EIS, trade licensing, banking, free zone services, trading licenses, utilities, water, electricity, and so on and so forth. And this government agency, they have a website for any investor who is who wants to invest in Uganda. They can always visit this website, and the UIA will readily be of assistance. Briefly, the incentives that are on offer by the government for tour, hotel, and tourism facility developers, there are tax exemptions. For those investing in the medical field in hospitals, they also are entitled to income tax exemptions. For those investing in real estate, they also enjoy income tax exemptions. For exporters of finished goods who export 80% or more of their locally produced goods, they can also enjoy tax exemptions for up to 10 years. And there are also exemptions for value-added tax for construction materials and raw materials which are used in manufacturing. The excise duty exemptions target specific goods and industries, and also there are stamp duty exemptions for the related to the acquisition of construction materials and for lease agreements and land leasing. I thank you very much for your attention.